Hey guys, welcome back. My previous video and workshop item was this level 3 tadpole hovercraft, and after doing it, I when I started this thing, I was going to make a minimal, low-cost level 3 unlock hovercraft, and I got a little bit carried away by wrapping it all in steel and you know, 3 Gatling guns and a couple of other things. You could make a level 3 hovercraft cheaper than this, but you know, this one's still doable. The resources, you can get all this stuff easily by dismantling the Titan, but if you haven't gone there yet, you know, just mining out the small wrecks and the ore deposits that you find in the startup area. You should be able to get all this stuff. You may have to go mine up a few rocks, but it's still, by the time you do that, you may already be level 5. And so what I did was make this. It's a level 5 version of that, and it adds medium thrusters in the front and rear instead of the small thrusters on that, an additional small thruster on the sides, obviously the turret on top, and then back here, sorry for the noise, armor lockers, level 5. I went ahead and put a constructor in here, and with the SB, the constructor cost you like 34 cobalt, and so in the previous video I said it would cost cobalt to add the constructor, and apparently for the HV it does not. And you can see these numbers are not very much higher than that for the level 3. You know, a couple of them got up over 200, but these were like 150, you know, 150, 170, 140. So, you know, another 30, 40, 50 of each ore, and you can get this at level 5. And that comes with the turret. Also, the cargo container extensions are also level 5. So I went ahead and took out the 2 cargo boxes that were here, and so this controller and the ammo controller both have 625 now instead of 125. So add another 500 volume to each of those. I had to do some other changing around. There's one cargo box here now. That separates the 2 extensions. There used to be the detector was across there, and I moved it to the back to make more room up here to add another cargo box, so I could put the bigger engines in the front here. Took up one of the spaces that I was going to use for cargo boxes. So I moved the detector to the back here. There's another cargo box above there, 125. And that's the constructor right there. These shutter doors are all hooked up to this center one. So if you activate the center one, they all open. I think that's pretty much all that changed. I did lengthen the thing by a block. Yeah, I think I ended up just one block longer. And that gave me room for an additional engine here, or thruster here, and I had to rework how all this was put together back here. It's kind of tough finishing out any kind of shape to match up to the back of these cockpits. Oh, I also changed the cockpit. So this one uses the legacy cockpit, the small legacy cockpit. This one uses the newer one. And if you look at the hit points, this one's 700 hit points. This one's 900. So more hit points. You could use this one on that ship, or vice versa, if you like one of them better than the other. This one does have more hit points. One thing I noticed when I started out, I was going to use this new cockpit here, cockpit number 8, and notice all of these say armored in parentheses at the top now, but this is not, these are not armored. Well, actually they are. Let me get rid of that. Alright, so this is the non-armored cockpits, and yet if you look at the bottom, it says, oh, upgrade to cockpit 1 armored. Same thing here, but this is actually armored. If you put it on here, notice the hit points 1800, but it didn't change the unlock level. Still unlock level 5 instead of 10. The armored cockpits require level 10. So you could use this on a level 3 hovercraft. The problem is you now have to come up with some sathium and cobalt. That's really the only problem. And if you find some of that early on, might be worthwhile, but it's a interesting cockpit. It's got kind of a hole in the front so you can look down, see out the bottom. Got one too many cockpits on here now. But so I placed that as a non-armored cockpit, but when you retrieve it, now we get the armored cockpits. So it's just a bug, and they may fix it before the release of Alpha 10. And if not, somewhere down the road you may end up with a non-functional level 3 hovercraft with an armored cockpit. I don't know how they'll handle that. So this is level 5, and like I said, the resources are not too much more than that one over there, but it's for level 5. This one is also for level 5. I haven't published, well, I'm getting ready to publish that one. Haven't published this one yet. This one's also level 5, but you can see it's got 5 turrets altogether. Got an extra harvester, it's got 2 extra Gatling guns, it's got a ton more engines, it's got bigger thrusters and more of them. I actually created this one before either of those. This was based off my Prowler hovercraft. I just swapped out the cockpit for a low profile cockpit. Same one used on that level 3 unlock. And knocked off a block off the height of it here. Added the additional things here, redid the front. So a lot of rework to come up with this design, and that's what I used as a basis for this. It's just a lot smaller. So give it a little whirl. It's got medium thrusters in the back and in the front, and additional thrusters on the side to side. Still didn't put any docking pads on here. You can add them pretty easily. I don't think you're going to want to carry this thing around in your CV or anything, so can just sit on its thrusters or hover engines. So there you are, level 5, getting ready to put this on the workshop. If you're seeing this video, it's probably already there. And thanks for watching. Hope you found it useful, and I'll catch you next time.